we could fly.
Welcome to this new season of the Have a Cup of Jahani podcast. So I want to title this new season that I'm embarking on with I'm growing. So this is going to be the season of growth. And that's what I'm going to share with you throughout the season. So I thank you for coming over here and sitting with me. And I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone. So look, summer is coming. Kind of like winter is coming, huh? Summer is coming. Summer is here. And with summer comes vacations, paying for things, the barbecues, and all this other stuff, right? If you're listening from the US, these are some of the things that we do during the summer. So in this episode, peeps, we are going to talk about not necessarily what we do in the summer, but the differences in joy, not just the level of joy, but the lasting of such joy when we experience things versus when we buy things. Are you ready? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. You're in there like swimwear, so that means that we're going to do it. All right. So this is coming from a place of not understanding that aspect, not understanding that one thing, how much experiences can give me back, right? So you may have heard me on a previous episode. I come from a very poor background. I come from the Dominican Republic. So I was born there and then I immigrated to the United States. In both places, I was very poor, sometimes abnormally poor. So when you're coming from that environment, what was taught to me through those experiences and just living there was that getting new things gave me joy. That's what I learned as a child, because more often than not, I was getting things from my sister, either hand-me-downs, or I was getting things from the Salvation Army, or that place where you get things by the pound, and those are things that have been used. So those were the kind of clothes that we can get. So that's what we had. And I will find as a child that when I got new things, I was very happy. But that gave me the wrong picture. That gave me the wrong thing to chase when it comes to happiness. So then fast forward to me being an adult, making my own money and having that money, I was buying new things. I was buying a lot of new things because as a child, I didn't have these new things. I didn't have new shoes. I didn't have new clothes. Rarely was anything new in my life. So I did that. I splurged a lot and I was not managing my finances. And that became a toxic, vicious cycle to stay on, to find joy by buying things and then hurting myself financially and getting into debt and then doing it again to find joy. And that joy was short-lived. It was there. I got the joy, but it was short-lived. And it took me a while to figure it out. And I think I figured out when I went to a concert. So never in my life had I been in a concert. I went to a Britney Spears concert. Yes, free Britney. She's already free. Okay. And it was a circus concert. And I went with one of my soldiers turned friend. And her and I we went to Dallas. That was when we was in Fort Hood, Texas, and then we went to Dallas and we saw it. And to this day, that moment brings me joy. But do I remember the new outfit that I bought at the Galleria? No, hell no. I don't even have it. I don't know it. For all I know, it's been donated already. I don't know it. It stopped giving me joy. And when I was able to look at that, it was like this, right? This aha moment that happened. But here's the kicker, right? When when you come from a poor background and when you are mostly living paycheck to paycheck, like I was at that time, that's kind of hard to achieve because I needed to understand delay gratification because experiences cost money as opposed to a shirt. A shirt is not going to cost me as much as a concert ticket or as much as a an outing, a vacation to Hawaii or a vacation, a mini vacay to New Mexico, right? It's a shirt is going to be way cheaper. So a shirt will be more attainable for me to get after at that time. So while I knew this in that moment, I needed to learn the art of a delayed gratification, of having that patience, of waiting. And that was tough. That was tough for me because when you are when you're feeling down and you want to get that joy, you want to get that happiness, and you have money in your account, you have cash in your purse, it's burning. You want to go ahead and buy something because when you do, you're gonna get a little, you're gonna get a little relief, a little joy, and so forth. So it took a lot of willpower, but it also took a little bit of know-how of learning certain things. So let me tell you what were some of those things that I learned. So I learned a little bit about waiting, but waiting with hope involved. What does that mean? That means that I will write it down. Like to this day, I have a board where I have my goals and my projects, and looking at that, even though they're so far away from me accomplishing those things, looking at that brings me joy and brings me hope. And I see it every day. And as a reminder that that's where I will be in the future. And I did that when it came to that long wait for these experiences. I put it on a board where I can see it. I will put it on the calendar and I'll be like, this is where I'm going at this time. Right. And then I also found of different things that I can do to set money aside. And then when I found a firm and when I found the joys of having a credit card, because I didn't have a credit card for the longest, then I was like, okay, then this is kind of like it's borrowed money that I can use to pay for this experience and then just pay it in payments, right? But I was very careful with the credit card. Like I said, I didn't have a credit card for the longest because I was very afraid that my willpower would put me into debt. And at the beginning, I had a lot of school debt, and that took a lot of my money away from me because I hate owning people, anything. It's a pride thing. And then just having that hovering over my head was like stressing me out. So a lot of my money was going into paying that off. And then I did. And then I had to wait a little bit because that was in my record for a long time. And then I went to Korea and I didn't pay it while I was in Korea. So then, I got a bad score from it. So I had to wait a while before I could get a credit card. And I think I started with that one where you put the money into that credit card and that's what you use. That's the one that I started with. And little by little, I just had to motivate myself by doing those things, writing it down, putting pictures of it, looking at it, and seeing the beach of where I was going, or seeing the place or the hotel of where I was going, the spa where I was going, and things like that. So that way that can give me joy in that moment and keep me motivated to save. And that's what I did. But like I said, when I was able to get my credit score up and then get that credit card, it was awesome because that means that I didn't have to wait. I'm still a very impatient person, by the way. I don't know if you can note that from what I'm talking about here or from our previous chats, but I'm a very impatient person. So when I tell you, when my credit score went up and I was able to get a credit card and it had a decent limit, then I saw that as my way of buying those experiences right away, right when the tickets were cheap, because you want to do that early on, and then on top of that, just printing that out and putting it on my board, and then just looking at that, and the excitement that I would get from looking at that is insane. And I will get like my son to be enthused with me, and it was like this exuberance of emotions, just like waiting for this trip. And one of the things that I bought was cruise trips. My son and I, this was before I met my husband, we did like 2 cruises. And what I would do is I will buy that like a whole year out. And by the time I would go on the cruise, the credit card was paid off and I had some cash in me. That was our play money for my son and I to do excursions, or, do whatever it was in the ship and whatever the ship had to offer. And and that's how I learned. That was another way that I learned how to get after those lasting joys that experience gave you. And that was by putting it on the fucking credit card, people. And I know, don't come to me for financial advice. I'm probably like the worst person, right? But I'm telling you, I paid it off by the time I went on the cruise. Did I incur some interest? Yes, I did. Could I have just saved for it and then gotten it later? Yes, but I'm not that patient. Okay. So I took an L in some things just to find that joy. And that's how I did it. And it worked for me, you know. So do with that information as you must. But what I want you to get after, what I want you to realize is that try to look into those experiences. And those experiences can be like something very small. It can be a concert. Concert are expensive, people. I mean, like, and back then it was like super expensive. I was like, what? $300 for a seat? I was like, oh my goodness, no. And right now they're like $500 or something like that. But the last concert that I went to it wasn't even a concert. I would say the last venue that I went to was when we had the S Babies here with us, and I took them to a wrestling match. And that was in New Mexico. That was so awesome. I'm telling you, experiences like this. And we took pictures and we went close to the ring, and they saw the big wrestlers, and they got to see women wrestlers too. And to me, that is something that I still remember. We have the pictures, we look at it, they remember it. It's a joyful moment. It was a moment of exploration, of figuring out new things, of experiencing something new. And it was changing for us. It was a joyful moment. And I'm telling you, we talked about that the whole ride back. We were talking about the wrestling, how they just like hammer each other by jumping from the ropes and all of that. So it was amazing. So yeah, so that's one way that we can do experiences. If wrestling is something that you like or that your family like, maybe try to see if there are local wrestling matches. I'm pretty sure those tickets will be a little bit more affordable, as opposed to the expensive ones, the WWE ones. But yeah, that's one way to do it. Shows, concerts. I know in El Paso, they have free shows sometimes in the amphitheater over there that one can go to. Hiking is a great experience. Oh my goodness. And that is mostly free. I know in El Paso they're free. You can just go up the McCullough Canyon there. And while the hiking may be a hardship, the people that you hike with and the conversations that ensue after that, those are the experiences that last, that you remember. Especially if you do it with family, if you do it with friends, if you do it with people that you love. It's something about being out in nature that just opens up an individual. And that's because we're human beings, right? We come from Mother Earth. So it's something about it that just like makes us so much pliable to joy, to love, and so forth. So yeah, look into outdoor activities. It could be camping. It can be kayaking. Oh my goodness. I was so scared of kayaking. I don't know how to swim. I don't know how to swim well. I don't know how to thread water, but I put my life vest on, and my husband and my son went kayaking, and they did all the rowing for me while I screamed my head off. And then I still remember it to this day. We have pictures. For our honeymoon, we went ziplining in Puerto Rico. We did a Caribbean cruise, and we still remember. And to this day, if it wasn't because of COVID, um, we would have gone on another one, but COVID happened. That was the year that I had scheduled for a cruise for us, but COVID happened and then that took it away. And then other things started happening. But I'm telling you, outdoor activities, vacations, resorts, spas. That's something that I did when I didn't have as much money. That was like my small staycation. I would say I will go to a spa and I would have a massage, and I will have my mani, my pedi, and my eyebrows done, and I will leave out of there feeling like $1,000,000, feeling like a new person. And that's what I did to find some joy. But I have, now that I'm this much older and hopefully this much wiser, I adamant that buying things, it's okay. It will give you some joy, but it's not gonna be everlasting joy or joy that lasts you longer, if you would have experienced something. So I encourage you to look to see what are those things that you can experience. What are those things that you can experience on your own? What are those things that you can experience with the people that you love and trust in your life? And do those things and take pictures and be untethered, and then just be in the moment and find your joy. Summer is here, folks. Summer is here. I am telling you, I will be going. We have a Hawaii vacation plan for the Ortegas, and you'll be hearing about that. That's what we have planned for us, and I can't wait. I can't wait. It's been years since I've been to Hawaii. My husband has never been to Hawaii, and I can't wait. All the things that we're gonna experience, and I'm gonna experience through his eyes as well, as somebody that has never been there before, is gonna be so joyful. I'll be taking a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, but mostly I'm just going to be talking and just living in that moment and seeing how he's experiencing it all, because it is something about talking to somebody as they're experiencing something and you're both in there together, that it brings me joy when somebody else is enjoying themselves. So, yeah, I hope, now that you've listened to this, that you go in there, you get those Twitter fingers going on your keyboard, and you look into something to do. Please, 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 please. And if you do, share with me if you can, if you feel comfortable. I can't wait. I'm telling you, I will feel your joy through whatever message you sent me of the things that you experience. I am so happy. I can't wait to hear what you did, what you experienced. Let me know. Have the best of time, and I will see you next Wednesday. Don't worry, even when I go on vacation, I will still have episodes out because I record them beforehand. Now, the episodes that will come after the summer holiday, you may be seeing some of my anecdotes in there, so be on the lookout for those. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you go live and are living your best life and experiencing new things out there. And I will see you next Wednesday. You better be there. Be there or be square, okay? All right, I'll see you. Bye. Oh, we could fly. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show. See you on the next episode. Bye. Oh, we could fly.